so today on the Wonderful Lovely Gaming Just Rocks channel, we're going to be doing my top 20 console games. Now, there's going to be 2 games in here that are going to be honorable mentions, and they're going to be more towards on the end. So you have to wait and see what those games are, and you're also going to see what games. You guys will be surprised what's on my list of top 10, my top 10 list, my top 20 list, I should say, but the top 10 are going to feel like, ooh, those are interesting. These games might not entice you enough to understand them, but, well, let's get started. So, just to remind you that, number 20 is Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. So I'm only going to go through these a little quick, except that I'm going to explain one thing about it, and this is a tactics game. I'm going to enjoy it the whole entire series. It's just not one of my best tactics. I'm also going to tie it up here is Final Fantasy Tactics, the tactics series. So those were great games. They were both great. I loved the tactics of them. I just felt like that they weren't the best tactics games out there. The next game here is Driver, the Driver series. Now, Driver 1, Driver 2, doesn't quite feel like it was my game. I didn't feel like that it was quite the best game. Because of Driver, it wasn't the best because of the beginning game. I can never to this day can never get past the first level. So that's why it's sitting here at number 19. Now I did slightly change things up a little bit. Number 18 is Burnout. Now I don't have that game on me or with me at the moment, but it is a game that I've played. It's the only game on this list that I don't own. In that sense, besides Halo, another game on this list. Well, you know, I already told you that, so. But you'll figure out when is Halo on there. When is Halo? But it's the only other game that I don't own quite well right now. But I have it for PC. But it's better on console. The next game here on this list is I should say, why is Burnout on the list? One of my best games. The reason why that Burnout is on this list is because Burnout is the best game for crashing and doing that. It just doesn't feel like the crash mode is great. It was one of my favorites. It's one of my favorite. It's in one of my top 10 racing games by far. So in that sense, now let's go into our next game here. Our next game here is an online game. An online game, and that is Destiny. Now, Destiny is a great game. I enjoy it. It's just not my cup of tea for a lot of my shooting games. I like it that it is online. I like it that it is a good MMO, but I'm not kind of really enjoying it. You can play this single player or online with 12 other players. Co-op 6 players if you have it available. I enjoy it. It's great. Now, I cannot say much about it because I haven't got into much of it, but I've played a little bit of it, a little bit of Destiny on the PlayStation. It's great. But I have it on Xbox because that's what I have it available for. The next game on this list is still sealed and will stay sealed for the rest of the time, and you guys know this, and that is Skyrim. Now, I love Skyrim for its epic fantasy. It's one of my favorite one of my best RPG games I enjoy. It's in the top 10, but it's not my top RPG. You guys kind of will I'll show you what my top RPG is on this list. You guys can kind of figure that out. We'll do that one in a later date. But I love Skyrim for its vast world, like Grand Theft Auto or games like that. It's a game that I can sit and enjoy and play around with, go out and fight with other people. Yes, it's but I still enjoy it to the day where I can immerse myself into the game and feel like I'm there. But the other thing is that it just doesn't quite have like a lot of enemies to kill. You know, I haven't been able to find any enemies in the game, and that just really tears me apart. That I can't find the enemies in the game right where I'm at. So that's the biggest thing was that. Now we're getting dwindling down. That was our top. That was our number 15. Now we're starting to get down into the next 15. Oh wait, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm missing. Okay. This next. Oh, I'm not missing one. Duh. Okay. Done. Let's get into these next because I forgot there's a game in here. So the next game here is Battlefield 4. Now, I was going to say that game is one of the best, one of the great first-person shooters I enjoy, but it's not. It's not like I enjoy it a lot. It's not my top first-person shooter game of all time. It's great. I enjoyed the storylines on them. It's great. It's a great EA game. I will say that it's the best out of them. So I hope you guys. So I hope you guys are sticking with me. I hope you guys are wanting to see all my favorites. I don't know what it is, but Battlefield doesn't seem like it's not one of the best first-person shooters because this next one, you guys are going to be surprised that Call of Duty is my next all-time favorite. Now, within the Modern Warfare trilogy, I have the Modern Warfare 2, and MW3. But I put the Game of the Year edition here because I'm thinking I might get rid of that, but I might getting rid of the Modern Warfare itself, but not the Game of the Year. I'm not 100% for sure on that. The reason why it's not sitting at the top is just because the game just seems too repetitive a little bit, but it is still one of my best shooters of all time. Now this next one has 5 consecutive games, but it has in the game of its history, it has 5 numbers. Well, it has it has 7 consecutive games. 7, maybe 8 consecutive games on it. Actually, hold on. It's Halo, to be exact. I don't want to go. There's more than 5. There's at least 5 numbered games. And then there's OTST. There's Halo Reach. There's Halo Wars and Halo Wars 2. It's a great game. It's one of my best shooters. Now this is the PC Halo manual because I own that game on PC, but I would love to own them on Xbox. But I'm not. I'm gonna wait until I get the Halo Master Chief Collection on that because then I can say it's gonna be one that I'm gonna love and I'm gonna be able to play them all in this list. Now this next game, the next game is Guitar Hero. That is sitting at so 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12. Well, hold on. So 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11. Am I missing a game? Oh well. So this game is really well thought out. Guitar Hero, it's one of my favorite go-to games for musical. One of my favorites. But the next game after that, but the reason why it's not sitting at number 1 is because the Guitar Hero series doesn't have great music selection. Now, the list is one of my top games of musical games. The next game here, is Rock Band 3, Rock Band itself. I enjoy the game itself. It is one of the best games I can sit and play. It's one of the best games that I can go through and say, hey, I love the game, dear. In that sense, it's a game that I would go to if I wanted to listen to some music and play some instruments. But the reason why Guitar Hero is before that is because it doesn't have the great main game selections. In that sense. So now let's get down into so that was number 11. 11, so 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. So yeah, we're doing pretty good. So let's get into our next game here. Now, the next game is the Tony Hawk series. Now, I'm actually going to say that after American Wasteland, when they started getting into that worldly game to build, it was really one of the worst games I had. Tony Hawk Underground is the greatest game because the reason why it's sitting up here is because of the nostalgia of the game that I get to build my own, how can I put it this way? Build my own park. And that's why it's sitting here at number 10. But, yeah. Now, this next game here is the Need for Speed series. I haven't played anything before Need for Speed Underground. It's great. I enjoy it. I've played Need for Speed Underground, Underground 2, Need for Speed Carbon, Tony Hawk Underground. No, not Tony Hawk Underground. Need for Speed Most Wanted, Need for Speed Undercover, and the newest Need for Speed Most Wanted game. I enjoy it because it's got that esque of racing, and it's got that feel that I got the greatest selection of cars. It's there. It's great. Now, the slight flaw of it is that it just doesn't feel like it's one of the best games for me. For me, it's one of the best racing games in my opinion. The next game here is Midnight Club Dub Edition, Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition Remix. I love this. This is one of the best games I enjoy. Now, the only problem I have with this is I didn't enjoy the way that the car selection. That's why it's not sitting up here at number 1, is because of the great car selection. But everything else is great about it. Love to build my own racing. I wish Need for Speed would start coming when doing that, and maybe might entice me into buying more, better of it, in that sense. And that's more open racing. That's why it's sitting up here as well. So that was number 8 here on the list is Spyro. I haven't played the PS. I haven't played any other ones other than the PlayStation 1 versions. It's great. I actually enjoy the game to life. I would sit here and play it if I had no sleep. My body was basically, I didn't have to eat. I didn't have to do anything. My body was basically didn't have to do anything. I didn't have to sleep. I didn't have to do anything. I would sit and play Spyro all day long, as one of us all day long, just like this next one. Now, the reason Spyro's not sitting here at number 1 is because it was great. It's just the worlds didn't quite. Some of the worlds weren't quite the best worlds, but you can understand. I can understand why, because it's part of the PlayStation, but it's still. A little bit of the worlds weren't that best. Now, the next game here isn't my number 1, and you guys are going to be shocker. Even though Final Fantasy is one of my best games. Well, yes, it is. It's one of my best RPG games, and that is Final Fantasy series. Now, I enjoy Final Fantasy because of its sheer wonder of its battle system. I love the battle systems before 12 came out, and it was the bomb. I love that, and I fell in love with it since the original since my first Final Fantasy game, and that was 8. You know, but I'll put a link down there where you guys can go see verdicts on my top 10. I'm not going to explain any more of that. You guys can go check that down there. I'll put in a link down in the description so you guys can get access to that one video. Or you guys can go search it up there. This next one is another RPG. And that is, well, not an RPG or some, but it's more of like a battle kind of game. So that's Sonic Adventures 2 Battle. The reason why it's not sitting up at number 1 is because it doesn't have the, it just didn't have the, how can I put it this way? It just didn't have the, multiplayer-esque to it. They could have at least made it 4 players to play, and that would have enticed me to play it even more. But it just doesn't have that. So, the next game on this list, is Time Splitters. Now, Time Splitters is one of my best first-person shooter, or third-person or whatever, first-person shooter, whatever you like. The reason why that is because it's got great story, it's got great map creation, and I enjoy it to great. And that's why it sits here at number 4. Now, these next 3 games on this list are one of them is a creative game, another one is a brawler or RPG, whatever you like to call it. I consider it more of a hack and slash game, but and then another racing game. So we got a creative game, a brawler, and a racing game on here. Now, this next game here, for being creative, is The Sims 2. Now, The Sims 2 is the only console game that I'd actually play for creativity. Now, I would go in and say, okay, I would go in and say The Sims 2. I would go in, HDFI, and give you a couple more locations to play in. You know, give you a little bit more lot on the PS4 or Xbox One. Give you a little bit more of that, give you a little bit more lot to play with. And that would be, I wouldn't do that, love to get that HDFI'd. I love it to dear. It is one of the best sim games I've actually played. Besides, you know, PC, but, you know, it's one of the best on the console. Because you get to maneuver your character and not actually have to. Now, I would do HDify that on the PC, too. Make the Sims 2 HD edition, console version, though. And the HDs, I would actually do the Sims 2 where it's like the, keep it that same style of the Sims 2, but just add the moving of your character with a controller. The next game here is this hack and slash game that I was talking about. Now, this may change just based on how well I like to play the game. You know, this thing is being released as the, July 24th, 2017. And that is Brutal Legends. Now, this game, the reason why Brutal Legends is sitting on here is because I get to listen to heavy metal music and play like a heavy metal player. And it's one of the best games. The reason why it's quite not sitting up there, the reason why it's not sitting up here is, at number 1, is because the shoot thing that you could have done, Ethernet multiplayer, but other than that, that's, you know, it's still a great game, still enjoy it. Now, my all-time favorite game of all time, and this is my all-time favorite racing game, sports game, whatever you like to call it, and that is 1080 Avalanche. It is one of the best games. And the reason why this is one of my best games is because you get to go race down the snowboard. Now, it's not my all-time favorite. It would be my all-time favorite game. But these are all games that I've played enough, or I've played to dear. Now, there were 2 games that I did want to mention. is Super Mario Sunshine and Mario Party. Those games are great. You know, I just understand why they're not up here. Mario Party is one of my favorite Mario. If we did an all-time Mario game, or if we did an all-time my top 10 Mario games, you'd be surprised. Mario Party would probably be up there, but I'm not gonna go into more details on that. So I hope you guys did enjoy my top 20 console games. Now these games here are all wonderfully thought of. You know, as you guys know, I have GameCube, PlayStation 2, and an Xbox 360. I'm bound to and PlayStation 1. I'm bound to wanting to get the PS3 as my next console, or Xbox One X. You know, one of those consoles. I'm not for sure if I really want that yet, but you know, but I hope you guys did enjoy. This list may have changed. If I would have tried SSX, I haven't played that much to really get into it enough. But so if you guys did enjoy, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you guys later. Now I do want to give you guys a if I haven't released this yet, top 10 PC games, and that should be my next top 10 game, and my next top 10 after that maybe might be a mobile console or top 10 RPG, one of those things. So I hope you guys did enjoy. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you guys later.